Hello everyone and now welcome to a 1v1 matchup between Alice and Pcg123. Alice has spawned as, well, the red Night Elf player over here on the top left-hand side of the map, going up against Pcg123, who has spawned as the red undead over here on the right. Let's go ahead and try and fix the colors. There you are. Alice is blue on the top left, Pcg123 red on the top right. Overlay is working. Going to be going on here. We're looking at, well, looks like pretty standard game. And I just finished casting a 4v4 tournament where, well, the pacing of that game just was absolutely bonkers, trying to keep up with all of the plays, all of the action, looking at the mini map constantly and still missing things. As we're looking at, well, it looked like it was a hero was selected and unselected there, finally getting up that Death Knight first, going up against a Keeper of the Grove. The Ziggurat was a little bit delayed, hence the Death Knight was trained up a little bit later as well. Thank you everyone for all of the support. I'm still figuring out what's going on with YouTube. Supposedly YouTube, I am now officially no longer part of any network. It's been a long journey, a journey into oblivion, essentially, as my YouTube, as my YouTube partnerships. I still think I have a YouTube partnership, just not with any real network. All right, gonna go ahead and pick up Ancient of War. Gonna turn back around, fight the Ogre Warrior off over here. Meanwhile, coming back around, there is a Tomb of Relics. Death Knight should be popping on out here in just a moment, picking up a Rod of Necromancy, selling the Scroll of Town Portal, picking up a Sacrificial Skull, and it looks as though Pcg123 gonna be aggressive with a Death Knight first expansion. Or is it going to be an expansion? No, we need to see if an additional Acolyte is being traded. It could just be Blight. There is that 6th Acolyte. There's the Blight now being placed down, and there is a Ziggurat in play. Selling that Scroll of Town Portal has become a very common strategy for players who want a little bit of extra gold in the early stages of the game, especially since, well, in comes a quick detonation right there. It looks as though the Death Knight was about to death coil that Wisp and then canceled the motion. But the death coil, the Wisp detonation still came underway. In comes the Keeper of the Grove. There are some treants here. Are we going to be looking at this Acolyte here who is still staying on Blight? He is on Blight. He is regenerating a fair amount of hit points as the Death Knight still wandering around looking to finish off this last treant here. All right, Acolyte back on Blight. Are we going to see a death coil for the save? No, we are not. He doesn't need it just quite yet. Acolyte's regenerating so many hit points on Blight here, as there is the death coil now, and the Keeper of the Grove just trying to do a little bit of pestering once more. Now that the Nerubian Tower is already being upgraded, well, the Keeper of the Grove decides against sticking around for far too long. Acolyte going to start haunting this gold mine here. We should be starting to see some training of Acolytes at the Necropolis, but this is always a catch-22 scenario for Undead. The haunted gold mine is relatively easy to pressure and force it to be canceled. And if the haunted gold mine is going to be canceled, well, that's a little bit of a downside. So you don't want to start training up those Acolytes too early, as you may never get the haunted gold mine up, and now you have Acolytes that don't do anything. On the flip side, if the haunted gold mine it does get up and operational, and you don't have enough Acolytes to fully saturate it, then you really ventured out and exposed yourself into this expansion location without really fully getting those rewards. This is an important part of real-time strategy games, that tension that naturally comes when trying to make proper decisions. Really, real-time strategy games in my mind has decisions and then execution of strategy. Execution of strategy is really important for. Well, there you go. You see that haunted gold mine getting shut down, and now there are 3 Acolytes with a 4th one coming in from behind with nothing to do. Beautiful play by Alice, constantly delaying here, and there is a significant delay and tech to tier 2. Meanwhile, though, Alice back at home does only have a Tree of Life and has multiple Ancient of War. All right, so he does not have the tech advantage either. This is dual AOW with, well, Ancient Protectors. All right, tower attempt coming in. Acolyte is gonna spot this, and what is happening here? All right, Alice's sneaky play actually exposed himself. If he placed this, well, if he placed this Ancient Protector closer to the tree line, it may not have been exposed. The Acolyte may not have spotted it during nightfall, as we are looking at one Ancient Protector looking to fight back here. All right. Is this no, taking quite a significant amount of damage? Ancient Protector should end up getting canceled here in just a moment. There you go. There is only one Ancient Protector here left. Wisp is trying to repair, but that is not going to work out well. 37 supply compared to 37. Meanwhile, down to the south, 5 Acolytes with no gold mine to haunt. Keeper of the Grove now making its way back over. And now, well, we are getting into one base play with a proximity Ancient of War and all at tier 1. All right, a lot of strange early engagement here. Keeper of the Grove now leading the charge here. There is a new Ancient Protector getting added in. Glaives bouncing, dealing damage, trying to remove any home field advantage here. And oh, there's a little bit of bonus damage as well. If the Glaives actually start bouncing onto the ghouls, that would remove some of that healing, as well as the Keeper of the Grove tries to, well, come back around. All right, there's a little bit of that Glaive bounce damage. Keep a Huntress now down to 183 hit points. Maybe forced to try and retreat back. Death Knight comes in with the coil and gets in a little bit more healing. Meanwhile, ghouls are just trying to survive here. Are we going to see a Shadow Meld? Huntress going to fall at 25 hit points. There it goes, finally getting taken down, but the Ancient Protectors are biding their time and maybe get up and operational. There goes one ghoul as well. Huntresses are still trying to find their way. 2 Ancient Protectors, one nearly completed as the Huntress are still fighting their way through, and in comes a Glaive Thrower. All right, Ancient Protector is here. Massive repair is now underway. There it is, 5 Wisps all right here trying to repair this Ancient Protector, but it's not going to be enough. Down to 10 hit points. It finally gets taken down, and level 3 on that Death Knight. Level 3 on the Death Knight, we're going to see the death of a Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, and a couple of more ghouls as well. Are the Glaive Throwers going to be able to throw in enough damage, as a ghoul trying to venture forth, trying to put pressure onto the Glaive Thrower, finds itself, well, in a little bit of a sticky and hairy situation too. Skeletal minions trying to make their way over again. There are plenty of Wisps to try and set up additional Ancient Protectors, as this is a tower attempt here, putting on pressure onto the opponent. Meanwhile, down to the south, we are looking, well, Pcg123 saying, if I can hold on to this and get the economic advantage, I should be able to win here, as the Glaive Thrower is now looking to retreat back. Death Knight trying to go after some of those other units, as an Ancient Protector nearly at 40% done at half hit points now. Death Knight now trying to lead back the other way. There's the cancellation, as all of those units have been coming from a single crypt. Tomb of Relics now being replaced once more, as the tech to tier 2 has not yet begun. We are 8 minutes into this matchup. No tech to tier 2. Expansion down to the south nearly done. A necropolis being built down to the south as well to help replenish any of these acolytes. And, well, the Death Knight trying to do a little bit of shopping, picking up a Staff of Teleportation. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove continuing to bring in plenty of problems. Staff of Teleportation coming across here. Death Knight now ready to lead the charge. Glaive Throwers are here. There are some Treants as being as a front line, as the ghouls are going up against those Treants right there. All right, ghouls. Well, Scroll of Healing quickly being used. Beautifully done. Scroll of Death Coil being used once more, and finally microing those units back. That use of that Scroll of Healing by Pcg123, absolutely clutch right there, getting a lot of effective hit points healed just because of how wide this army is. Glaive Thrower now trying to retreat back, but taking far too much damage. One more shot, it gets taken out. But how much time was taken to chase down that unit, as we're going to be looking at perhaps 1 or 2 low hit point Huntresses about to get taken out as well. Death Knight chasing after this Huntress here. Huntress down to 5 hit points, off to the races. Death Knight unable to catch up easily, and if the Huntress is able to drink from a Moonwell in time, that would be absolutely huge. Death Knight, well, able to get in that final shot once more, but as I mentioned, a lot of time was spent chasing, And when you spend a large amount of time chasing, other things happen in the matchup. All right, Ghoul trying to retreat all the way back. Are we going to see? Yep, there's a quick death right there. Death Knight now trying to make its way back over as a third Ancient Protector about to get operational. Fourth Ancient of Wonder is being built into the back here. Death Knight once more chasing after all of these Huntresses. And PCG123 is mining off of this base down to the south, and he is doing a ninja upgrade. A beautiful idea by PCG123. Alice, as he's putting in pressure onto this base here, he is not going to suspect that the expansion is operational down to the south, as there is just a more and more units being trained up here, right? And the Necropolis is also not upgrading to tier 2, so it just doesn't look that suspicious. Coming back around, Alice's army, 37 over 50 supply, army sizes are about even, but yeah, this is Alice really committing to this tower push here, and why not? But from the looks of it on the mini map, from the looks of it, if Alice doesn't scout out this bottom right-hand side of the map, he may not know that he is actually in trouble. We're going to be looking at PCG123 setting up a new base completely down to the south here as more repairs are getting underway. All right. Is the surprise to tier 2 going to be the difference? Perhaps adding in a meat wagon from a slaughterhouse that could perhaps be enough. Ultra of Darkness about halfway done. We are getting up a crypt as well. And, well, trying to get as much gold out of this gold mine. The Acolytes are here. And, oh, I was wondering this earlier. PCG123 had been training up a number of Acolytes. And why is he training up a number of Acolytes? It's to continue the charade and the facade. Alice knows that PCG123 had trained up a number of Acolytes down to the south. By having these Acolytes constantly repairing at this necropolis, it looks, according to Alice, that these Acolytes were just shifted over from the main base, or from that expansion attempt down to the south. As long as he's, well, constantly repairing here and buying time, he should be okay. This is a lot of glaive throwers and Ancient Protectors as the Death Knight. What is going on here? Unit's going to try and engage. There is one Nerubian tower, no Spirit Tower, and in comes a final fight as Unit's going to try and engage back once more. All right, no Scroll of Town Portal available as the tech to tier 2 is nearly done, and we may be looking at that here in just a moment. All right, Death Knight, is he going to try and put pressure here, sell anything, try and attack here? What is going on as the ghouls are going to now look to try to finally engage? All right, there, down goes that, and the units say, you know what, it's time to get on out of here. Death Knight now running back down to the south. The Ancient Protectors do not have Nature's Blessing. The tech to tier 2 has not been started, and now it is going to be, well, it is now going to be this fight down to the south as both sides are trying to engage. There's a Scroll of Healing used pretty effectively to keep all of the ghouls alive, at least for now, as the Huntresses are pretty much going to town here. A Death Quell continue to try and save more units, as well as we're looking at, well, the Keeper of the Grove now sitting at level 4. Death Knight sitting at 3.5. Death Quell finishing off an Archer as the Death Knight now runs back down to the south. Gargoyles are now into the air. Halls of the Dead tech to tier 2 now done, and the Lich is out onto the battlefield. That second hero, that Lich with the Frost Nova, could shift things around. We are looking at a slaughterhouse being built down to the south as well. As well, over here on the top right is Alice just going to try and set up a Tree of Life and set up an expansion of his own. He already has Ancient Protectors in position. No, he's doing the slow march south. Alice has taken down the main base of PCG123, but this game is not over yet. PCG123 really selling the fact that he didn't have an expansion. Excuse me. And even having those acolytes there, making it look like he had he had brought all of those acolytes back. Meanwhile, we're looking at Ancient Protectors, and the Glaive Throwers are going to be making their way down. All right, Ancient of War still training up more units. Is Alice going to be able to complete the deal here? There is a good number of gargoyles in the air, and there's not that many archers. Alice is now transitioning into archers rather nicely, but as you can see, Huntresses and Glaive Throwers with the Keeper of the Grove is not going to be able to win out here at all. Gargoyles now going after a couple of those units, perhaps going to be able to finish finish off some of these units here, as the, well, Ancient Protectors need to root themselves if they plan to attack those units. All right, Lich down to 159 hit points. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability are used right there. Death Knight perhaps transferring it over. Gargoyle is trying to finish off more units as the Lich just doesn't have enough experience. There goes another Death Coil. Staff of Teleportation now being used as the Death Knight now tries to retreat back out. Not going to be double backing around. Coming back down to the south side here, are we getting Obsidian statues? No, we are not. What is going on? More Gargoyles still being trained off of 2 crypts here, as the Huntresses, Keeper of the Grove, and Archers now looking to engage. Lich back to the side here. Still no healing. Units are going to be looking to try and engage here. Acolytes could be brought back over. Are they repairing? No, they are not. Simply too many glaives, as the Ancient Protectors are finally brought to the battle. All right, Moonwell is being placed down here. No Tree of Life over here on the top right. We're looking at more damage onto that Altar of Darkness, as well as the tech to tier 3 nearly done. Are we perhaps going to be going into... What are we going to be going into? Abominations? No, destroyers? Perhaps tech to tier 3 as the Altar of Darkness taking on quite a bit of damage. Ghouls continuing the fight right there as that Altar of Darkness now finally taken down. Level 2, level 4 on the Death Knight and the Lich, as the Obsidian statue now offering a little bit of healing support. 38 supply compared to 52. Army sizes are fairly in favor of Alice now. 50 supply compared to 36, 37 compared to 25, as the Acolytes are all here getting in a bunch of repairs onto the Obsidian statues and all of these remaining units. Archers now trying to retreat back here. Ghouls could still be added. More Archers getting added in. Ancient Protectors are constantly getting pushed into position here, as the Death Knight should be able to perhaps finish off a number of Archers. Does the Lich have an Orb of Corruption? It does. An Orb of Corruption does change things around quite a bit, as well as we're getting Destroyer form. All right, Destroyer form is ready. We are getting more Spirit Towers and a Nerubian Tower as well. Glaive Throwers, however, quickly going to destroy that Nerubian Tower here, as Alice is staying in tier 1. All right, if you heard this game, it is a tier 1 Night Elf is beating a currently an undead player who expanded and got to tier 3. Well, yes, that is describing this game, but it doesn't accurately describe this game at all, as the Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 5 continues to fight back. Death Knight, Obsidian statues, Gargoyles continuing to put in the pressure. 41 supply compared to 29. Undead is in a little bit of a hurt, as the, well, another Ziggurat taken down. All the Glaive Throwers need to do is shut down the Haunted Goldmine, and then the game is pretty much done completely, as this Haunted Goldmine, well, is the last lifeline that is needed. All right. It looks as though Undead Pcg123 really going to be committing into taking down these Glaive Throwers now, and has done exactly that, going after all of those units. Death Coil, Frost Nova, Keeper of the Grove, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, Destroyer now looking to back away, able to stay alive at 10 hit points, as the Death Knight, well, continuing this battle once more. All right, Lich sitting at level 3. Level 2 Frost Nova is on the table. Meanwhile, the Haunted Goldmine constantly being repaired. Is it going to be enough? It looks like it could end up getting taken down here, down to 159 hit points, but the Lich and the Death Knight is here, and the units are still trying to make their way back around. Death Knight sitting at level 4, as we see a Moonstone be used to try and keep around as well. The Glaive Throwers could have finished off this Haunted Goldmine. However, the Haunted Goldmine is still up and operational right now, as the Acolytes are still all here repairing. All right, low hit point Destroyer could get Death Coil healed up here in just a moment. New Obsidian statues need to be trained up here relatively quickly. 18 supply army. There's that Death Coil heal, as the Death Knight is just shy of level 5. All right, some Devour Magic trying to finish off some of these units. Death Knight still just shy of level 5. Lich still shy of not even halfway to level 4 as of yet, as the, well, Ancient Protectors are now making their way through. All right, while uprooted, or heavy armor, which means that the Destroyer can deal large amounts of damage, and that is what we're looking at right there. Ancient Protector down to 114 hit points, still staying alive here. Obsidian statue in the back, continuing to get more repairs, as the Lich is trying to fight back against all of these units. Acolytes getting poked apart now by the Ancient Protectors themselves, as the Black Citadel is, well, doing its part to try and fight back as well. 22 supply compared to 16. Alice's army actually relatively smaller. It is the Ancient Protectors that is showing, that is giving any sort of advantage to Alice, as the Archers now are starting to pelt down the Acolytes, as more Acolytes coming back over to try and repair and heal up. The Nerubian Tower was already taken down. Only a Black Citadel is left here, as the Keeper of the Grove is continuing this pressure and this push. I thought Pcg123 was going to be able to pull off an incredible fake here and come away with the victory. It does not seem like that is the case any longer, as there is just not enough lumber, even with a meat wagon in position. Is this going to be enough? All right, Lich taking quite a bit of damage, a 400 or 600 hit point heal, keeping that Lich alive and well. Perhaps going to try and put pressure onto that Ancient Protector as the Black Citadel, one Ancient Protector down. All right, Lich continuing the fight here, 26 supply. What is going on to the back here? Just complete mining still. 3 minutes of mining left, and this is going to be actually a tough spot to be in. If Pcg123 is the professional player, I believe, I know he is, he knows that after the 20-minute mark, or there's only 23 minutes of mining in the main bases. So he may realize that, wait a second, I just need to hold on here, and my opponent's going to be running out of gold as well. No more ghouls. Ghouls are needed in order to train up anything else here, as the Death Knight, the Obsidian statue, and the Lich seem to be able to hold this. Protectors are getting taken out. All right, last one Ancient Protector going to get taken down here, and this may be the amazing hold that that I thought this game could turn into, as the Death Knight is at level 5, Lich is at level 4, Meat Wagon able to complete the deal. All right, making its way back off to the north here. Keeper of the Grove looking to make its way back off to the top left. Only 2 minutes of mining left into the main base. Meat Wagon completely repaired back up, and that was the hold. 21 supply army compared to 24 undead, with a slight army size advantage, as some of these may get taken out. Pcg123 making sure that no new base was established here, and now realizes that Alice is in trouble, as Alice only has a minute and a half of mining left to go. Death Knight about to get taken down. And with this, 10 minutes of mining at the expansion by Pcg123. All right, Moonwell's getting destroyed, and as well, Obsidian statue gonna be replenishing the Death Knight and that Lich once more. There goes another Moonwell here. There's another Moonwell. All of these represents hit points and mana for the Night Elf army. Keeper of the Grove can't even do any creeping officially to try and gain levels, as he's already at level 5. Meanwhile, the Lich can benefit from some experience from the creeps as well, as the one Destroyer, one Obsidian statue, one Meat Wagon make their way out onto the battlefield. Ancient of War in the center portion of the map, but the hero level advantage of Pcg123 with 2 high-level heroes, a level 4 and a level 3, should be able to seal the deal here, as we're looking at, well, Alice going to be losing this Ancient of War rather quickly. A beautiful hold, trying to replenish everything, trying to get Ziggurats back, Altar of Darkness, rebuilding up a necropolis, since there is just not enough lumber. All right, interesting call there, saying, you know what, I have extra gold, I don't have lumber, let me go ahead and train up a necropolis to get the necessary lumber, and now perhaps getting a Ziggurat as well. Coming back through, Death Knight sitting at 5, Lich sitting at 4, Clouds of Attack +5 for that Lich, a little bit of bonus damage, could even hire up a Tavern Hero. Oh, that would be an interesting call. Hiring up a Tavern Hero as a third hero, immediate presence out onto the battlefield, decent size, decent size pressure, perhaps trying to go for Breath of Fire. With a panda, that could work out well. Even Dark Ranger trying to spawn up skeletal minions could work, as we did see an Altar of Darkness, and yes, it is going to be a Dark Ranger. Undead, all you need are your heroes, and apparently this game is going to be another example of that, as the Dark Ranger is the third and final hero coming in from the undead side. All right, in come Mass Huntresses. Here we are coming back in from the other side. Death Knight, does he have a Scroll of Town Portal? Yes, he does. Units are spawning all of each other, as the Meat Wagon gonna go ahead and retreat back once more. All right, Meat Wagon gonna try and perhaps launch some attacks there, get some damage onto some of those Huntresses. Scroll of Town Portal coming back the other way, as the Treants are now being forced to retreat back here. That was just a Staff of Teleportation. I take it back. Huntresses now chasing after the Death Knight. There's an Entangle, and this could be a potential problem. There's some Devour magic, as the unit's trying to break free right there. Death Knight could be in trouble. Does have a Scroll of Town Portal. Should be okay, as there is a lot of damage right on there. All right, Frost Nova coming in from the Lich. Lich does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Are you going to continue to try and chase down that Death Knight, as there is a Tome of Strength +2 right there, which represents 50 hit points. Not quite sure why he isn't using it at all, as the Dark Ranger now popping up some place. All right, more engagements getting underway. Lich turns back around, finishes off more units, and the Lich coupled with the Dark Ranger focus firing onto the archers, and there is the GG. Alice throws in the towel as PCG123 pulls off a hold for the ages and completely charaded and faked out his opponent, training up those additional acolytes. I had wondered about that by PCG123, training up those additional acolytes in his base to make it look like he transferred acolytes from the south expansion back to his base and then to constantly repair. Alice then overcommits into the main base, thinking all I need to do is take down the main base and I have the game done. Main base gets taken out, and there's only 3 minutes of mining left. Alice, with no feet to stand on, loses the game. Thanks for watching. Thanks. No, why did Alice quit? He had no economy. He wasn't mining any gold. That was the end of it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That was a completely entertaining game. Let me know what you think of the games in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube. See you guys next time.